Hi, I'm Tom Lydon here in Washington, D.C. at the Charles Schwab Institutional Conference. I'm here with Mike Natale, who's head of distribution at FlexShares. Great seeing you, Mike.
Thanks for having me.
There's a lot going on in the ETF space. It's growing dramatically, built on pure beta strategies, but more importantly today, as we see volatility returning to the marketplace, factor investing is pretty important.
Yeah, I would say so. I think common factor exposure is really important these days, especially when we see volatility hit the market. And at FlexShares, our products are designed to bring factors to the forefront. And I think if you look over time, consistent and persistent performance of factors will help investors.
Well, there's a lot of talk about passive versus active, and that active might get back into the fold. What's your view?
Yeah, I think there's a place for both. And I think each investor has to make that choice. But here's what I would say. I think passive investing with active design is a true, at a true inflection point. So here's what I would say. We looked at active management and about 800 managers that had outperformed. And what we found is that their outperformance wasn't coming just from their stock picking prowess. It was coming from their common style factor exposure. And so that's what we're trying to focus on.
So, in your factor strategies, what are some of the highlights that people need to be thinking about, especially as they talk about portfolio construction as we wrap up this year?
Sure, I think it's really important that you put factors together correctly. I think just grabbing factors and putting them in a bowl of soup is not going to be great. You've got to make sure that you have rules and gates around the factors that you're working with. You need to partner with firms that have extensive experience in putting factors together. The example I use that's somewhat funny is, if you go to a sushi restaurant, you don't see ketchup on the table. And the reason for that is that some factors don't go well together. So you got to be very insightful about the way that you put them together.
So where we are as we're looking at 2019, what are some factors that are really key that advisors need to be thinking about?
Sure, and at FlexShares we're focused on quality. And I think when you look at a lot of our lineup, quality tends to be the factor that we look at the most. In fact, we've put together a Callan chart of factor performance over time. And quality doesn't win in one single year, but over a 15-year period, quality does win. So whether it's dividends, real estate, or other asset classes, quality is a place that we want to focus on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, quality and value has been a little unloved in this momentum move. What can we take back from that?
Well, I think momentum has its place as well, but I think quality and value over time, especially since we are long-term strategic investors, is a place to be. So I'll give you an example of quality and yield can be a great combination, but when you put momentum together with some things, you're going to have some issues sometimes in market volatility, and we've seen that obviously in the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely. Mike, as always, great seeing you.
Great seeing you. Thanks, Tom.